Hey guys, Coach Joe here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about carb cycling. This was asked to be covered by Hilda from Caldwell, Idaho. So the first thing is, what is carb cycling? The most basic format is that carb cycling is a planned alteration of carbohydrate intake in order to prevent a fat loss plateau and maintain metabolism along with workout performance. Carb cycling is considered an aggressive and high-level nutrition strategy, and only people in high-end athletics such as bodybuilding, physique competitors whose nutritional adherence is extremely high and to require more meticulous nutritional approach should be using it. Although the body handles short-term deprivation relatively well, a strict nutrition regimen of low calories or low carbohydrates can be hard on the body over the long haul. Missing a meal here or there or dropping carbohydrates very low isn't disastrous when it's occasional and brief. Some evidence even suggests that brief and relatively infrequent periods of fasting and or carbohydrate restriction may actually be advantageous for both health and body composition. However, restricting calories and or carbohydrates for longer periods can have a negative metabolic effect. For example, as a result of long-term restrictions, dieters may experience reduced metabolic rate, thyroid hormone output, sympathetic nervous system activity, spontaneous physical activity, leptin levels, and reproductive hormone output. Not only can this have consequences for overall health, it can bring body composition gains to a standstill. There are different methods of carb cycling. However, the common theme behind them is that protein and fat intake stay relatively constant while carbohydrate intake is manipulated. Carb cycling also typically involves calorie cycling. Since carbohydrates have 4 calories per gram, adjusting carbohydrate intake while keeping fat and protein more or less the same can greatly alter your calorie intake. So days where carbohydrates and usually calories are increased are often known as refeed days. Refeed days are also known to some as cheat days. This doesn't mean that you go out and eat cheeseburgers and french fries on a cheat day. You eat more of the same nutrient-dense foods that you've been eating, just you up the amount of carbohydrates that you're intaking that day. So what is the summary and the recommendations? Use carb cycling only if you are nutritionally advanced and have exhausted basic methods. Use only for a short duration. Pick a carb cycling strategy depending on how you feel with lower carb intake days, how much muscle mass you carry, your physique goals, and length of time you anticipate on the carb cycle. After a carb cycle strategy has been selected, you need to establish your calorie intake goal. Establish a protein intake goal which remains relatively constant. Establish a fat intake goal. Again, this should also be relatively constant. Finally, pick a carbohydrate intake goal for the different days. Then divide your total intake of all the nutrients up into regular feeding intervals with appropriate spacing due to workouts. Schedule the refeeding times. And now you're ready to go. Until next time, inspire from where you are and keep crushing it.